A thumbs up when you know it. We're good. Good morning. What's up, my tweeters, YouTubers, fantasy football fans, myself, the Dynasty Chef Steve, and Nav Subman are here to give you the IDP Hour. We're missing Jordan Rains today due to being out, but we have plenty of questions from him. He's playing the Let's Sit Back and Watch game today. Morning, guys. How you doing?
Good. Good. How are you?
Good. Excited to be here. Excited to get you guys rolling. You obviously know the Dynasty Chef. We have Nav Subman Derick Appel with me today. Obviously, if you've watched some of our videos, me and Derick did a live a couple weeks ago on a Wednesday night, I think. Might have been Wednesday, something like that.
It was. It was a few weeks back.
But Derick's with us. Give us a little love. Again, like I said, Jordan is out for the week, but he will sure pop in, I'm sure, and send messages because that's what Jordan does. So, but you guys are good? You got ready for this week 3, big week.
Yeah, huge week.
Yep.
You seem real excited this morning. Let's get going.
Sorry, I'm just doing a little bit of retweeting.
I know my man, the Dynasty Chef is our producer. He is obviously putting us out, retweeting, getting us going. Again, guys, let's see those questions. We will be on for the next hour. We already have quite a few questions to answer from the background, and I told Matthew Riggins that I would get right to him as soon as possible. So maybe he's watching right now, maybe he's not. I can't see that. My man Steve would have to let me know if he is. Matthew Riggins says, "Do I drop J.J. Watt or Chris Jones?" Okay, I'm gonna take this one right from the get-go. I get that J.J. Watt has not performed well the first 2 weeks of the season. However, Merciless has done exactly what we wanted from J.J. Watt, which is something that I've talked about a few weeks now. I would say a few months now, that I expect him to drop off, especially when Jadeveon Clowney went away. I said about Aaron Donald because their support guy is gone, Jadeveon Clowney and Ndamukong Suh. However, it's early, and I'd love to know how many players he can stash on his bench as J.J. Watt. And if you're asking me who I would drop today if I had to drop him, it would be J.J. Watt because at least Chris Jones has a support staff with him, and he's going to get to pass rush a lot because, well, his quarterback throws the ball like crazy. So everybody they're going to play is going to be playing from behind. So Chris Jones is a must-keep. J.J. Watt in general is a must-keep. But if you feel like you have to get rid of him, why not trade him? Maybe get a draft pick for next year. You know, at least then you're not saying, well, I just dropped this dude and he went off. Because if he does go off and you drop him, then that's kind of on you. So I can't really tell you to drop J.J. Watt right now. But if you're going to, at least try to trade for him. You know, get something out of him because right now you're not getting diddly. And he's only got 2 tackles on the season that were last week. But Merciless is benefiting because you have to double team J.J. Watt. So maybe they flop. Maybe they mess them around, move them around where they're going to have to mess with one guy instead of the other. But that's my opinion. What do you guys think?
I agree. I mean, I'm not just trying to drop a guy like that, especially a guy like Watt. I mean, you never know when he's just going to go off and just 20 sacks or,
He's on pace for 0 right now. So
well, yeah, I mean, on pace for 0, but
we'll see what he does.
When's that 2-sack game going to come along?
Like I said, he needs a support guy, and until somebody emerges, it's not going to happen.
No, and like you said, it's the same way with Donald. I mean, when's he gonna get that support guy? And it's
Donald's at least been in the quarterback's face.
Right.
Ash Drew Brees is probably done for the season.
I still got him benched right now until I see something going on.
We got people online right now. There's 7 of you. Ask your questions. That's what we're here for. We're trying to answer your questions for your start sits. I do have a few still right now. Derek, what do you think about J.J. Watt, Chris Jones? What are you giving for me?
Yeah, I think that taking either of those guys and taking them off of your team just weather the storm a little bit. They're going to get theirs in due time. They're just not performing at the moment. I mean, it's kind of like, you take anybody on the offensive side, just because they haven't performed yet doesn't mean that they won't. And I actually have J.J. Watt in my top 10 for defensive linemen this week. So I think this could be a good week for him, but we'll see.
He needs to break out something. I mean,
he does.
I'm kind of okay with going against him right now. So I understand Matthew's decision on here. But like I said, I think if you can if you trade a draft pick, cool. If you trade for another player, great. Somebody still loves J.J. Watt, I promise you. So,
obviously.
You still got him. So, it's an idea. Blake M says, who's your breakout player of the week and why? Blake, I'm going to get this towards the end of the show because I want my guys to mess around. I've got a lot of questions to answer. So, my man 50 Shades of Drunk, if you know him, it is our boy Jordan Raines, who's the other co-host. He asks, you can only play one, Levante David, Devin Bush, Zach Cunningham. Why would you do this to somebody, one, by the way? And why can I only play one of these? Because, one, I love Levante David now that Devin White's out. 2, Devin Bush has been balling. And I tell everybody, hey, I said last week he's going to be our breakout player of the week. He had a good week, fumble recovery. Should have scored. So Zach Cunningham's been Mr. Consistent. Just the facts. What we expect out of Zach Cunningham. So I kind of hate you for this, but I'm going to go with
it's
who knows? Who cares? It's not Zach Cunningham. For me, it's Devin Bush or
it's not Zach Cunningham.
No, it's Levante David or Devin Bush for me.
I love it.
I hate your face a little bit for this one. But it's here Levante David or Devin Bush. Devin Bush continues to ball out. And the main reason I say Devin Bush, and the main reason I'm going to say Pittsburgh Steelers is they're leading the league in defensive snaps. And that was before their quarterback got hurt. I like Rudolph, but let's see how this works out. So that's my answer to that. You guys?
Yeah, you'd probably hate my face if I told you how many good players I had to choose from for so many little spots.
See, that's why you got to start trading, dude.
Well, but I got all the good
Don't
players.
Be a hoarder.
I got all the good players.
Well, I guess you can hold on and keep everybody from beating you.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, we are loading up on these comments online, and I'm loving it. So let's get on, you guys. Richard Malone, my guy's been on this last couple weeks, guys. Get on him. Richard Malone, can I play Quentin Jefferson from the Seahawks or Ed Oliver? Man, Rich, I love Ed Oliver, but I told you wait 2 weeks. So Jefferson is the guy. I know he had a down week last week. First, it's like, oh, yeah, this is what we're waiting for. But that's my dude. It's Jefferson for me. What do you guys think? Derek.
Yeah, I'm with you. They're both very similar, but I definitely go with Quentin Jefferson.
You're a hater. Your wife's a Seahawks fan. So next.
Well, that's true.
What about you, Steve?
I like the bold move.
Like the bold move?
Yes.
My man Eddie?
Mm-hmm.
I love Ed Oliver. Everybody knows that I've been a Ed Oliver fan.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 411 on him. I even said last week he was going to have an okay week. He did have a pass deflection. He had a decent week. He definitely helped the back end. Those guys balled out because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I have a great question coming up next. My man B. Jackson, who just joined our group, just became a subscriber. Thanks for that. Again, subscribe makes it easier for you guys to know we go online. Preston Brown or Nigel Bradham, big play scoring. I'll agree with you. Either one are pretty solid, but Preston Brown has been so consistent. Mm-hmm. Somebody turned me on to him like week one, like, hey, what do you guys think about this guy? And if you look a couple,
something about that,
and I was like, man, I just don't know. I mean, but Preston Brown comes over from the Bills and balls out at Cincinnati. He's been so solid. Nigel Bradham is kind of what we expected Preston Brown to be. So, in my opinion, I'm taking Preston Brown. This guy's really been balling out lately. He's been playing really well. What do you guys think, Derick?
Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty consistent so far this year. And if consistency is what you're looking for, then definitely go with Preston Brown. But if you want the possible wild card, then go with Nigel.
What do you think, Steve?
I like Preston Brown. Mm-hmm.
He's just a guy right now. He's just a guy right now. We'll get back to Richard Malone in a second. He's got another one. Is Brian Burns playable also? I mean, Brian Burns has played pretty well overall. I would say that he is playable. I mean, especially if you're talking about a guy making a big play for you, sack, tackle for loss. That kid is talented. I have also been on Brian Burns. He's in my rookie 4-1 top 25 preseason, and he continues to show that he should be there. My man Russell Mavis is commenting on our first question, Levante David and all that. He says Levante David should have been the guy that we pick. And I get it. Like I said, with White out and White gets out with a knee injury, Levante David is definitely a guy that you have to look at to play and ball out week by week by week like he did last year. Mm-hmm. Will he do it? We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still.
Okay.
We'll see. Yep.
And I love that the guys are going back and forth on YouTube right now. This is pretty funny. Steve Jones, worth holding. He's great when he plays, but injuries going to plague him throughout the year. Here's my reason why you definitely hold on to him. They just traded Minkah Fitzpatrick, right? Mm-hmm. Why don't you hold on to this guy? Yeah, you have to hold on to him. He's definitely a guy that's going to play more because we just got a first-round draft pick for him. I'm with you. Let's hold on to him. My man Richard Malone tells Russell to drop him. Get rid of that guy. Nah, man, you got to – my man Russell Mavis likes Nigel Bradham. And I get it. Both are solid plays, Jax, But for me, Preston Brown has been so consistent on a team that's really been surprisingly defensively. So, great question there. Russell does say that Nigel has bigger play potential if it's not tackling, scoring. And it's big play scoring, and I get that. Nigel can give you an interception, can give you a fumble. But if you're basing like, hey, let's pray this happens, they have a tough matchup this week. So in my aspect, I'm going to go with a guy who's going to have the opportunity to play a lot of defense, who could have a big play. And that's why I will go with that one, in my opinion. I'll go with Preston Brown over Nigel Bradham. So, Jackson, you and Russell can fight and wrestle, but my pick is Preston Brown. The rest of these guys are also I've got a few more from the Twitter sphere. my man 50 Shades of Drunk asks Jabril Peppers or Terrell Edmonds. So I'm all over some Pittsburgh players right now. They led the league the first 2 weeks in snaps per defensive player.
I mean, they're gonna be the field. They're gonna be on the field all the time.
If they're already on the field and Big Ben was on their team,
Yeah, exactly.
what are they going to do with Rudolph being on the field? And I like Rudolph. Let's not get this twisted.
No,
I have
I
told
agree.
you guys, I have been all over Rudolph.
I agree.
I can't wait till we have the Baker Mayfield Mason Rudolph rematch 2 times a year, just like the Oklahoma game. So if they can ball out like that, that'll be fun.
It will be.
Terrell Edmonds is just, dude. I mean, he's a top 8 safety right now. He's a top 8. Like, I think he's top 30 all defensive players. So, yes, Terrell Edmonds for me. I get Jabril Peppers has been playing well, but again, they're playing. It's funny, they're on the field less than the Steelers, which is crazy to me. But I'm gonna go with Terrell Edmonds. What do you guys say?
I like Edmonds. I think they're gonna be. He's gonna be on the field a lot. It's just gonna be 100% Edmonds.
Yep, I'm with you.
Guys, Terrell Edmonds, not that Jabril Peppers has lost anything or doesn't have, the big play potential, but, just the fact that he's going to be Terrell's always going to be on the field or on the field more often, it just leads to more potential in my opinion. So, yeah, Terrell Edmonds.
For me, it's kind of a no-brainer here. I mean, Terrell Edmonds is a top 16 player in all of fantasy football. I will pull this up for you because I'm not about messing with you guys. So I'm going to share screen here. Give you guys little statsies because I like the statsies.
Awesome.
Bam. So here's your stats. Here is my man. Where you at?
He's right down there, number 16. Terrell Edmonds.
Terrell Edmonds is a top 16 player in all of fantasy football for defensive players, guys. 18 tackles, 13 solo, which is what I really like to see, 5 assists. He doesn't have any big plays yet. Devin Bush is right above him, right, at 18 and 10. So
that's crazy. He's got more.
He does have more solo. Well, I mean, it's because they're getting by them, and that's the thing is people are playing. Who's not on this list? Jabril Peppers isn't in the top 18. So you want my question and my answer? There you go.
There's your answer right there.
I did have a question like, who should I start? Blake Martinez and Jerome Baker from somebody this week? I'm like, are you not playing both?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you not play both?
I haven't even thought about taking Blake Martinez out of my lineup.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a one linebacker league, they're very. Listen, man, you're lucky to have both.
Linebacker league, yeah, and I haven't even
very lucky.
Lucky to have both. Both are going to ball out. Both continue out. So
I went nuts with linebackers in my league.
Somebody was talking about. I'm getting a little crap from my man Mavis over here. Preston Brown is number 16 in all of fantasy football. With where we at here?
Yeah.
Scroll up for my man, number 16, with 18 tackles. I get he has 13 assists, which sucks.
But he's there. Guys. Look who's in that list there. Preston Brown, Devin Bush, Terrell Edmonds, Darius Leonard.
No, I will give you the reason why Quincy Williams and a few others are here because they have 3 games instead of 4 or 3 games instead of 2 right now because it is updated. This is an updated group. So very high. There's a lot of guys I'm really high. Danny Trevathan and Roquan Smith. One of my buddies was trying to get me to trade Danny Trevathan this week for Mac Wilson. Listen, man, I like Mac Wilson. I think he's going to have a good week, and I'm glad that he's going to be in the lineup more often. But dude, Danny Trevathan's top 22 player right now. So suck it, Brandon. I'm not trading Danny T. Not going to happen. I've been on his life this whole time. So again, guys, ask your questions. We are gonna post your questions if you put them on here, just like Brandon did.
I got a question.
Yep.
What do you guys think of Shaq Barrett?
Shaq is been playing out of his mind.
He has.
I don't know if he's going to keep it up, and I'm pretty sure that I go against Shaq Barrett this week. So I kind of hope he has a stinker.
I mean,
I hope he. No, I hope he. I definitely hope he doesn't ball out this week.
I do.
I did have. In one of my leagues, I had Calais Campbell going against me, and in MFL league, in our league, sacks are very heavily weighted.
Mm-hmm.
So he has like 48 points. Bruh. Like, to start the first game down 50, because he has another player too. He's over 50 points. Yeah, I think he has 62 points right now.
Hard.
Because I know he had I think he has Logan Ryan or something like that as his
You better hope
corner.
hope your RBs come out killing it.
Dude, my running backs have been killing me lately, so they need to come out and help me out.
They just destroy.
David Johnson, CMC, and faceplant last week. I still won last week, barely, by the way. But I need those guys to blow up. My man Russell says, thanks, need Jones for a bye week at least. Yeah, man. I mean, hold on to him. Like we said, Rashad Jones, the guy I got to hold on to. Number one is, well, they traded Minka, man. Why not hold on to him? Mm-hmm. So, again, guys, answer your questions. You're live on YouTube. We have 8 or 10 guys live right now, popping off to 8 to 25. So, if you got questions, answer your questions. Let's see if I'm getting a YouTube question right now. Of course I am. Always. That's what we're here for. This question I hate you for. And we talked about this before. My man 50 Shades of Drunk asked Nick Bosa or DeForest Buckner. Man, all right. Jordan has been on DeForest Buckner since week 1. Right? He's like, this is the week. This is the week, right?
It's funny.
I hate Nick Bosa because, well, they're like Steve's main job. He's like a pane of glass window, right? He could break today. Like he could break there in warm-ups. Like it's too good. If you guys do not know Nick Bosa's injury plague background, it is ridiculous. And we're not talking small injuries. We're talking ACL surgery in high school. He tore his abdomen. He's constantly pulling hamstrings, pulling groins.
Man, I don't even get it, man. Like, I like the guy and everything, and I just
the Bosa getting hurt, bro.
The Bosa curse.
Love or hate me, man. I have been calling on Nick Bosa being sick. It seems like he gets hurt all the time. I have a problem with him.
Anyway,
I don't like either one of these guys. Let's be honest. Nick Bosa had a sack week 1, and this is a real thing. I dropped him after the sack because I still knew what was coming. What did he do last week? Gave you an offer. Nothing. Right?
What is
Nick Bosa has the biggest playability of the two. So if you're going to keep one, you have to play one of two. I'm sorry, your DeForest Buckner play has not been there. You got to play Nick Bosa, even though I don't like Nick Bosa. So, got a few questions. My man Russell Mavis is all about this life, and he says Buckner. He was doing his thing last year. He's doing the same this year. I like Buckner overall. Don't get me wrong. Big playability. I like Bosa. Bosa scares me because he can injure. In warm-ups. It's just one of those things. Love or hate me for it.
Yep.
So Russell, I guess we'll agree on this one. We agree for most time, me and Russell do. So we like to have a good time, me and him, going back and forth. Yeah, I believe in Jim Schwartz more than Lou. Well, I'm with you. That's your question that we were talking about. The other guys, I'm with you. Like, completely agree with you on this one. Richard Malone comes back at me.
Mhm.
Should Olivia Vernon be on any team at this point? Bro, I don't know what is going on with that dude. Like, you want to talk about not showing up after having – and really he balled out in the preseason. So
What happened?
Olivia Vernon just hasn't done anything.
I know.
I mean, he's playing second fiddle to Barnett. He's playing second fiddle to obviously Richardson, who continues to play well. Myles Garrett is the – I mean, let's be real. Wouldn't you be – maybe they'll figure it out. Like, hey, we got to block Myles Garrett, and Olivia Vernon's going to finally get some playing time and go after it. That's a great question. Bro, I could understand not having him. I'll be honest with you, because there's so much hype having him. But I think that players, you're going to see people actually look at Myles Garrett finally, because he has 5 sacks in the season through 2 games. He will definitely be targeted in this game because he can change the game. The problem is he can change the game on the other side too. Hey, let me give you a sack, and the very next play, let me give you a 15-yard penalty. So hopefully he gets the penalties under control, because no other player in the NFL defensive line-wise has more offsides than Myles Garrett. And that's because he just tries to jump the snap real quick. Bro, you're too fast for most guys to handle you anyway. Just use your strength and power and speed and wait a second. Stop putting your team in penalty. I mean, I think
He's killing them.
I'm pretty sure the Cleveland Browns are the most penalized team in the NFL right now. They had 18 first week and 8 last week. So they have 20-some penalties in 2 games. They need to back off, and otherwise they're just going to continue to hurt their quarterback, who they need to start balling out, because he has 4 batted passes that have turned into interceptions, or not batted passes, tip passes. One hit OBJ dead in the hands last week, and that turned into a interception. My man Richard Malone give us a little laugh out Buckner, man. Like, man, I'm with you. Like, Nick Bosa scares me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta be on the field to produce. So
yeah, so I'm with you, Liv Vernon. I think maybe they'll finally flip over. I think it's time to maybe at least see what happens this week.
I'd like to see something out of Vernon.
Big week.
I got him on a squad.
We talked about this in this week's show in our podcast. Obviously check our video out.
I haven't dropped him yet.
I haven't dropped him yet either, because week 3 is a big week for me. Have you dropped Aaron Donald?
No,
you haven't dropped Aaron Donald.
It's Dynasty.
You haven't dropped JJ Watt yet.
It's Dynasty.
Yeah, but that is for most people, right?
Yeah. It was. I mean,
if you haven't dropped those 2 guys, right? Don't drop Olivia Vernon. At least give them the chance. I mean, they're obviously having their defense is playing as balling out, but we're really going to see something this week because they're playing the Rams Sunday Night Football. So please just give that look. Hold on to them this week. It'll be another show on Sunday Night Football that we'll be able to watch, and we'll see what's going on. This could be a big week for Olivia Vernon if they target Myles like they should. If my man Derek says, hail to the now. Hail, no. Or give me a reason. Let me, it's my man Derick Appel at NASubman. If you guys want to check him out. Why? Let me hear your thing.
Well, I mean, he obviously had some concerns, late or during the seasons when he was with New York the last 2 years. He's played 12 games and 11 games. So probably a little bit of an injury bug sneaking up on him, or maybe something's happening that we just don't know about. And this year he is, in my opinion, wildly underperformed. So yeah, I don't think that he needs to be on anybody's team right now. Go see if you can pick up somebody else. Get rid of the guy. That's my take.
So you feel like he's taking a little roster spot right now, is what you're saying.
That's right.
There are some guys out there, though.
There are some guys out there. Been some weird pickups. Again, like if you have an opportunity, I would say go after Mack. Mack is going to be the starter over Kursky now because Kursky being put on IR, if you guys don't know that. So I would definitely go after Mack. I do have a question from somebody, but Steve, what do you think about Olivia Vernon over doing what we expect to happen here?
I'm sorry, what'd you say, bud?
What do you think Olivia Vernon's upside is from here while I'm getting to this other question?
Oh, man. Well, this week, I don't think he's got a good matchup.
He does have a tough matchup, but like I said, they could probably focus on the other guy.
I said I'm still holding right now. I'm probably holding for a couple more weeks at least before I decide to drop him. I want to see if I want to see. I'm gonna wait this week out and see if anything comes out of the next matchup before I try making any moves with him.
Okay. I do have a question. Devon Campbell is who I think he's asking about. Let me pull him up because I don't want to mess with you guys on this. My man Russell says, thoughts on Devon Campbell or K. White long-term throughout the season? So as I'm getting to this, I guess we'll put a little focus on me right now. For me, Devon Campbell, and I believe that's the D. Campbell you're talking about from Atlanta. I do like the kid. I do think he's got a lot of upside. He played very well in the past. 94 tackles, 63 solo, 1.5 sacks. He's a true linebacker, right? He's not a down the hill guy. He's not an outside linebacker to come down and get you a sack or two. But in 16 games last year, he had 94 tackles. So he's a guy that I definitely expect to play. Expect to give you some good stats. I mean, any guy that you can get near 100 tackles with, 63 solo, he's definitely worth rostering for a dynasty league. A lot of people don't know him, so it's pretty cool that you do bring him up. So we'll see what you really want to do with that. What are your guys' thoughts, Devon Campbell? He's a young kid. He was born 93. So
yeah, he's 26 years old. I definitely have him on my team, or I would have him on my team. I don't have him on my team, but he's doing pretty good. He's had 12 tackles this year, or 12 solo tackles. I think he's got 14 total tackles. Yeah, it looks like he's got 14 total tackles so far.
I mean, 14 tackles. He's right. The top 45.
I'm sorry, 16 total tackles.
Oh, so he's top 18.
Yeah.
So. He got 16 total tackles, or top 30 at least. I know that I have him on our big group here. I'm just scrolling. Devon Campbell is 31st. 16 total tackles, 12 solo. So yeah, man, I'm all over it. Big fan.
He's just not. He's not a big play guy.
Yeah, he's just going to give you the tackles. I mean, it's just the facts. We're talking about White. I guess it depends on what White we're talking about here. If we're talking about the cornerback, talking about the wide receiver who was the total bust on the planet here. So which Kate are we talking about? Russ, I'll need you to help me out here.
Well, I mean, I imagine he's talking about. Is he talking about Kazir White?
That's who I think he's talking
That's
about.
who I'm thinking. Yeah. We have been talking about Kazir White like crazy. We like him. We've been all over him the last couple weeks. Me and Jordan have been talking about him. Jordan actually put him in his top 25 players this week. So. And then 2 weeks ago, he also talked to him. Thomas Davis is balling out there. Kazir White is also balling out. But if you want one of the two, Thomas Davis is leading all of NFL in tackles right now, if you did not know that. Getting away from Luke Kuechly actually helped him a lot. He's got 26 tackles, 13 solo, 13 assists. Kazir White is right there with him. playing really well.
That's
crazy. What are you doing back there? He's got 16 tackles, playing really well. He's averaging right near, 7? We had 7 tackles last week, 4. He had 4 solo, 3 assists. Week 1, he had 9 tackles, but 8 of them were solo against 2 teams that are going to throw the ball pretty consistently. Indianapolis doesn't throw the ball a whole lot. They ran the ball like crazy. So in that group.
Seems like that Chargers defense is on the field quite a bit this season.
The Chargers defense is playing a lot on defense. Get back to my group, guys, and then get you here. I don't know. What do you think, Derick? Kazir White, how do you feel about him?
I think he's got 16 tackles on the season so far as well. I mean, they both match up pretty evenly.
Let me ask you this: Do you think Kazir White has more big play ability? Do you think he's
than Devondre?
Yeah.
Well, here's it. One has.
I haven't seen it yet.
One has Thomas Davis. One has Thomas Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Jones. If you want my opinion, without a doubt, I love Devon Campbell. I mean, he's a top 30 on all fantasy right now. I do continue to think that they play enough defense that they'll be staying on the field. I like Devon Campbell more. I do like both of them. The fact that both are in the top 50, if you're in a deep league where I'm playing 3 linebackers like I am, then yes, that's one group to group on. Keeper league, who do I stay with? My Russell says Devon Campbell or Kazir White. So it's funny you say that because how long does Thomas Davis have in the NFL? That's the biggest question here, right? He might have 3 or 4 years left, maybe. He might. He's older. I mean, he's been next to 38 his whole career, so he could be at a point where he does leave soon.
Yeah,
so
he could be Tom Brady, though.
He could be Tom Brady. He could be my favorite linebacker of all time.
5 more.
Derek Brooks played 16 seasons without missing a snap at the linebacker position for the Buccaneers. That's bonkers, guys. So is Thomas Davis can do that? I don't think so.
But
like nobody can do that. I'm shocked that that's a real thing. It's either 16 or 14 seasons, but it's not nuts. So in that aspect, if you're asking keeper league, who do I keep? I like both of them right now. I would say fill it out because Deion Jones is one of those guys that gets hurt. He missed the entire season last year with exception of the last 4 games, really. And we're seeing this emergence from Campbell. So great question. But I would fill it out. At least wouldn't you guys fill it out? I mean, you got all year. It's a keeper league. So both of them are definitely producing in deep leagues. So I like both of them. What do you think?
There's definitely you still got some time.
Yeah, I like both right now. I mean,
yeah, I think I like both. If you're talking dynasty league, not just a keeper league, I think you definitely go with Kazir White, in my opinion. I think he's going to see. I think he's only got 2 years in the league, where Devondre Campbell has 4 years. So he's a little bit younger. They're both similar in stats right now. So for me, I like Kazir White.
So there's a 3-year age difference on the two guys.
That doesn't really affect me right now because the fact Thomas Davis is 38, or something like that. So he's a monster. And the age thing, it doesn't matter. I know that Devondre's had, 94 tackles last year, 89 the year before, something like that. So I will give you, Richard, because you've asked so many questions today, I'm going to go with your defensive question first, and then I'll answer your offensive question. And I know my man Derick is itching to answer an offensive question. So, first of all, would you roster Ogilvin, or Cashman if you had to pick? This is easy for me. Blake Cashman is playing,
Mhm.
right? Even having their stud, if he comes back and plays consistently and mostly, Cashman has been a guy to roster. So, you know what I mean? My man Russell Mavis says, thanks, appreciate it. Let's get back to my man Richard real quick. Of course, Russell, anytime. We really appreciate you always being on here. You always ask great questions, keeping us on our toes. We like to get at that. Who's your roster? Oga? I don't want to jack this dude's name up, or Blake Cashman. For me, it's Blake Cashman. He's been balling out when he plays, and he has been playing a lot. Even with CJ Mosley playing, he played a lot week 1. So for me, it's Blake Cashman. And if you guys know, I talked Blake Cashman up as my IDP 401 rookie. It's funny, people ask me questions that I've had guys in the top 25. Blake Cashman was not in my top 25, but I've definitely answered that question a few times. Blake Cashman for me. How do you feel, Steve?
Yeah, Cashman.
Derek?
Yeah, probably Cashman.
I mean, it's an inside linebacker spot, guys. I mean, he's too good to not have. Richard Malone, I'm right back at you, buddy. Offense. G. Edwards smart play today in the rain.
I heard the rain was going to be moving off.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the rain is going to move off a little bit.
It's still going to be windy, but
do you think he's going to play more because the other guy's slightly injured?
I mean, yeah, probably get a little more play, but
He's definitely got the potential to see a few more snaps out there, but with the ground being a little bit wet, I mean, you never know what's going to happen between those two teams. It could be a shootout, and they may just end up going away from the run game.
I think.
Well, for me, it seems like Edwards is more of the pass catcher of the two. But you want my honest opinion? I'm staying away from Edwards until I see. I mean, I'll roster him. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But I don't think he's. Do we honestly think he's going to take that spot? He ain't going to take the spot, right?
No.
So I don't know. For me, Richard, I would have to say I would say no, not a smart play today in the rain or without the rain. Maybe without the rain, I mean, maybe he'll get a few pass catches, but and if you're in a PPR league, which most of us are now, good question. However, for me, I'm going to say no. If you have offensive questions, we have another 15 minutes online here before we all get crazy. And I get this flies by, and this is how it goes. It just seems like we just hopped on here, and you look up and we've been on live 43 minutes. But I know that I have a few more questions. Again, ask your questions.
Everyone coming on here in just a second.
We want to see those. I'm sure somebody's going to pop on here and talk smack or something. So I've given you guys a little bit of time. My question to you is from Blake. Maybe it's Blake Martinez. No. I do know Blake. So who is your breakout player for this week and why?
Well, it's Blake Martinez, right?
I mean, right?
Yeah.
This is a good question. I would have told you, for me, it was going to be Josh Allen on Thursday if you had asked this question to me, because I knew that somebody was hurt and I knew he'd get some playing time. Josh Allen balled out. Some people are trying to go after him right now. Calais Campbell had 2 sacks. Josh Allen is what we expect him to be. I really think he's going to be that player. If you want to check all my videos out on my YouTube, I will probably put them back on our website here. I did do a piece on Josh Allen. Really like the kid. He balled out for Kentucky. He showed what he is worth on Thursday night. And for me, if you were going to ask me that Wednesday, I would have told you that for Thursday night's game, this is the one player that I'm playing. Really didn't expect Calais Campbell to do what he did, and I'm hurting because of it. But That's a big one for me. A guy that we have not talked about, and he is playing very well for me, is DJ Swearinger. He has played really well. I've got a lot of crap from him about him earlier this season, but I think he's finally just grown up. I think he's finally gotten to a point where he's like, listen, I'm back in Arizona for a reason, and that's to compete. And they're young. Their defense is stout. Buda Baker is a savage. He's a must-play every week. DJ Swearinger is balling out right next to him and playing plenty of snaps. So by plenty of snaps, like 99% of snaps. So go check him out. For me, it's DJ Swearinger. Steve?
This week, I'm going to make a bold suggestion. I like Grady Jarrett this week.
Grady Jarrett. Well, all I'm seeing is your forehead right now. So,
sorry. If you got to play a defensive tackle,
Grady Jarrett is kind of a must play every week. I'm with you.
Against Indy. Yeah, if you got to play, against Indianapolis. Yeah, if you got to play a defensive tackle.
Derek, give me a guy. What you got?
All right. So first, I did have DJ in my top 10 for defensive backs this week until I looked up and saw Buda Baker, and I think Buda Baker is going to have a better game.
They've both been playing well.
They both have been playing well, and I probably should have put them both in my top 10, but I didn't. I just put Buda in there. I think anybody who goes up against Miami has the potential to just absolutely ball out, and somehow this week I ended up with I was able to stream the Dallas defense. So I'm gonna go with my boy DeMarcus Lawrence. I think that he's gonna have a great game.
Well, he needs to start balling out because
I'm hoping that he does.
Me and Jordan were talking about this the other night. Show me weeks. Like this is a show me week,
this
right?
Is a show me week,
right? JJ Watt, show me. Aaron Donald, show me. Olivia Vernon, show me, because you ain't shown diddly like we were talking about, and you could drop him if you want to. DeMarcus Lawrence, show me, because how are you one of the guys that led the league in sacks a couple years ago? You ain't done diddly yet. So against really trash opponents. So we'll see. I don't trust DeMarcus Lawrence right now, and it's pissing me off because I like him, and was obviously in my group. I will give you some more plays. Play Darwin Thompson, Richard Malone says, because we told him no on G. Edwards. Damon Williams isn't playing. Newsflash, if you did not know, Damon Williams is not playing. He is out this week.
He's out this week.
Which means it's either going to be the other Darrell Williams or Thompson, right? If I could have grabbed LaShawn McCoy this week, I would have, to be honest with you, because he might just ball out. That could be a fun game this week, by the way.
I was seeing that he had a better grip on the playbook and everything too. He was ready to.
He had more carries than. I mean, that's the thing, is Andy Reid likes him. But yes, if you want to pick between the two, Edwards or Thompson, Thompson has definitely got big playability, much more than Edwards. I mean, if you watch the preseason like most of us did, Thompson is a baller. So Russell Mavis did say he's the best defensive back on the waiver wire. I'm sure you're talking about DJ Swearinger. Agreed with you. Can't believe he's still out there.
Okay.
Yep.
I got a question for you. Barrett or David?
Barrett or David? Who? Levante David or Barrett? For me, it's got to be Levante David because White's not there.
Yeah.
So he's going to play 100% of snaps.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I got Levante in my top 10. I got him at number 6.
All right, let me hear your top 10. Let's go with this. We got 10 minutes left before we get rolling here, unless we get another big question.
For top 10 linebackers?
Yes.
All right.
I'll be like this, give you a thumbs up, or I'm going to go like, hell no.
Hell no. All right, so my top 10 is Luke Kuechly, followed by Bobby Wagner. All right. Tremaine Edmonds. Kind of on the fence with him.
All right, I mean, they're going to play plenty, though. That defense has been on the field the whole time. I'm a Tremaine Edmonds fan, so
I know you are. Corey Littleton.
Oh, it's my dog right there.
Mhm.
That's your guy, right?
That's my guy.
Blake Martinez.
Of course.
And then Levante David, followed by Roquan Smith and Jaylon Smith. And then
so you think Jalen Smith?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Jordan Hicks and Quan Alexander.
So you have Jordan Hicks behind Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith might not even be the best linebacker on that team.
He could be.
It's Leighton Vander Esch, right? LV's the truth. I mean, athletically, Jalen Smith's more athletic. When I want to make a guy to make a tackle, Leighton Vander Esch ain't missing tackles, fellas. Right? So Leighton Vander Esch better ball out for me this week. I'm going to be pissed because he let me down last week. He played okay. He played okay, but he
better do it.
He didn't ball out. However, Jordan Hicks, and if we want to go back to my stat sheet here, is balling out this year. And I've been trying to trade for him all week with somebody. Jordan Hicks is number 2 statistically. He's tied, number 1 and Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly are number 1, tied at 26 tackles. But my man Jordan Hicks has 15 solo tackles and 10 assists at 25 total tackles this year, guys.
He's balling.
So the fact that Jordan Hicks is behind some of those guys is a little hilarious to me. Blake Martinez is 8th. Another question for you. Jayon Brown is really big on me, but again, he's had 3 games compared to everybody else. Quincy Williams is screaming up the charts. If he's available, go get that dude. He's got.
I picked him up everywhere I could.
The first. So, Jerome Baker.
I did it. I did it before he started climbing those boards. I was scooping him up because he was like Quincy Williams, and I was listening.
Let me talk to you about it. Ronnie Harrison continues to ball out every week for Jacksonville. So he is a safety you have to grab, guys. And if they end up trading away their guy, then we'll see what happens there. Then Ronnie Harrison is already a must grab, by the way.
I heard they were going to pay him though.
I mean, he should get paid. He's one of the best corners in the league. He might be the best corner in the league.
But are they going to use him like he's supposed to? That's another one of his problems. He don't like the way they're using him. It's not necessarily just about the money either.
Yeah. I do have another question for you offensive geniuses here. Play Mike Williams or Mecole Hardman. Listen, man, I'm high on Mecole Hardman. I think he is the 4th receiver right now, which sucks. And me and Derek had this conversation last week. Who's my guy right now, Derek?
Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, but who's my guy on that team? Who am I high on right now?
Oh, crap. I don't remember. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday.
Come on. Who's the receiver that balled out in Kansas City last week, guys?
Oh, crap. What's it? I don't know. He had like 178 yards. I'm brain farting this morning. It's early in Hawaii.
It is early in Hawaii. Derek is joining us in Hawaii. Like I told him, he had to be up at like 4:45 in the morning to get on here.
Wow.
So
dedication.
Yes.
Give Derek some love for being up.
Realize it was.
Now, I'll give you in a couple weeks. I will be in Australia doing this, so this will be interesting for me because I will be like 16 hours ahead of y'all.
What time is it going to be there?
So games will start at like 2 a.m. for me.
Oh wow, dude.
So I'll basically be taking a nap in the evening, doing the show with you guys just so I can watch football. So I'm basically gonna do the show at midnight. The next day it'll be Monday, by the way there. So that'll be interesting. For me, it's Mike Williams. I get that he's been injured, but you can ask me and Derek were sitting on the couch watching the game last week while he was up visiting in San Diego. We were like, dude, what's up with Mike Williams? How he wasn't going to play? And then this dude has like 3 of the best catches of the season. And
I wasn't real high on Mike Williams at first, but then the more I watched him, I was like, man, this guy is legit.
Man, I'm telling you right now, Derek's a Clemson fan, so he has been high on Mike Williams. He's been off and on him because, but his main guy that he loved coming out of college, who really didn't do anything and then balled out first week this year, is because got hurt, is Sammy Watkins. So Sammy Watkins kind of disappeared last week. Why?
Yeah,
because
he did.
Well, the main reason is because he drew the number 1 corner.
Yep.
When you draw the number 1 corner, Pat Mahomes is too good, right? By the way, Pat Mahomes, I hope you're listening before your game starts. You need to throw to Kelsey.
Those are true.
I did have somebody offer me a trade this week, and I want your honest opinion. He offered me, because I asked him Danny Trevathan, I didn't say I told him Chandler Jones for Mac Wilson, and he countered me with, I'll give you Zach Ertz and Mac Wilson for Danny Trevathan and Travis Kelce. I said, bro, you must be smoking some ganja right now. I said, I wouldn't give you Travis Kelce for both those guys. So, ooh, my man Russell going big on me here.
Hey, we got a late.
BJ's back. I'm gonna give my man BJ some love. Sorry, I'm late, fellas. Firefighter life is demanding. I get you, bro. 2 of us are active duty Navy, myself and Derek. So we get you. Brandon Faison is safe start this week. Yes. If you have to play a cornerback, and I think we talked about this, you have to play a cornerback last week. Yes, BJ, I like Brandon a lot. Dude is a baller. Russell says my wife is a firefighter, so he's giving you some love over there.
I got
back to BJ.
Thank you.
I'm going to get an interesting question in a second. This will be fun because I want my man Mix is gonna arrive. I need him to arrive.
I hope so. I hope so, man.
Russell says Lamar Jackson's gonna go off on a KC defense. Dude, Lamar Jackson's been going off on everybody.
I hope this is a huge game. I want this to be like last year's Rams KC game.
We are getting a lot of questions right now, so I want to get to you guys. Pick 2 standard scoring league: Mixon, T.Y., Cooks. T.Y. Hilton's been balling out every week. Brandon Cooks has been up and down. He had 6K. Yeah. He's averaging 6 targets right now.
Yeah, like 6.5, something like that.
However, as much as if this would have been last week, I would have told you to stay away from Cooks. However, they're banged up real bad. We don't know if the corners are going to play. However, I would tell you I think that they are deep. Cleveland is. I want my man Mixon to show out. He hasn't shown out yet. He does say he's healthy. He said this is going to be his week. He is telling people that on Twitter. I want to believe in my man. I wore him today. Obviously, if you guys know, I'm an OU fan, so I expect Mixon to come out. You guys are going to go against me on this, but I'm bold moving it T.Y. and Mixon. Standard scoring league. Cooks doesn't impress me in standard, personally.
No, in standard, no.
I want a guy that's going to get a goal line carry, and that's Mixon.
Yeah.
So what do you guys say?
I got Cooks. I got Cooks on my squad. I'm really hoping that he balls out this week, but I think if you're just going with consistency, it's got Mixon and T.Y.
To be honest, I own a share of every one of them, and I hope they all do well. But I don't. I think Cooks is the odd man out in this one.
Me too.
I win this one. I expect you guys to go against me. I expect my man to go off. Let's go, my man Anthony. D. Tomaseo. I hope I don't know how to say your last name. Anthony D.I. We'll go with that.
D. Tomaso.
DiTomaso. Hopefully we're saying that right. DiTomaso. Carry on Aguilar or Metcalf. Aguilar is a must grab, by the way, because the entire team's injured. Carry on is a savage. Metcalf is a big playability. Metcalf is going to grab the number one corner. Carry on is going to get a load of carries. So for
you think Metcalf grabs it over? I mean, Metcalf has more coming back this week, I think, and then he's also got Lockett. I don't know that he grabs the number one corner, but
Lockett's going to be the slot guy.
I think stay away from Metcalf. It's kind of a toss between Carry On and Aguilar. I think if you're looking for overall points, I think Carry On gets it. So that's my choice.
I do like Aguilar if you're going to have to play two. Aguilar is good. Dude, Wentz loves him for some reason. If you watch the first game he played last year, and when everybody else was injured, he targeted Aguilar like crazy last week.
Yep.
However, Carry On, they dropped C.J. Anderson this week, guys. So Carry On is a must grab, must play. Love or hate him. So my man Russell Mavis, we're going to go over an hour here just because we love you guys. I need Frank Clark to get sacks. Don't think it's going to happen. Russell, I'm going to go back to last week. I'm calling Russell out this week because we debated on playing Frank Clark or somebody else last week, and I said, man, I don't like Frank Clark this week. Just for some reason, I don't like it. And Russell, am I right or wrong? Did I call that last week? Did I say Frank Clark is not the guy to play, which is why you're scared to play him this week? With you need him to get sacks. He is a baller, but they're going to get an opportunity to play. He's going to get an opportunity to play. I'm going to tell you this. I think he gets 2 tackles for loss in this week. I think that they are going to try to pass the ball, obviously, against Kansas City because that's what you do. I got a important stat. I don't know what this is. Might have just got botted. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Oh.
Or.
Okay.
Or.
We'll just get rid of that.
Whatever that is.
I don't know. Maybe they're.
Let's see what he says. Oh, you win, but throughout the season, I will come out on top. Okay. I love my man Russell here. He's always here, always giving us some flack. He is also he's here for it. I hope I answered everybody's question. I think I have up to BJ Russell. Let me give you all you guys some love out. Anthony DiTomaso. Even our bot came out here. John Smith asking Lamar, asking pick 2, the offensive questions. Richard Malone here all day. 50 Shades of Drunk. We appreciate you. Jordan will be with us again tomorrow morning to do our other pod. B. Jackson. I think that's everybody. Obviously, I had Blake send me a message. We answered his question. We answered Matthew Riggins' questions. And again, if you guys check us out at Jared Gray, at the 50 Shades of Drunk, at the Dynasty Chef, and at Nav Subman, we will answer your questions. Again, go follow my buddy Derek at Nav Subman. He is new to Twitter, not new to this. So
there you go.
See how this works out. Again, Jackson, appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking us out. Again, we will do this every Sunday, whether I'm in Australia or not. I will be missing 1 week for the Oklahoma-Texas football weekend, but I will always tune in, and I hope you guys all tune in as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Again, we're part of the Full-Time Podcast Network, as well as Expand the Box Score. Go check both those guys out. They're pretty solid. My man Russell says thanks and go Big Red. You must be a Nebraska fan who definitely came back in the very end last week. Rooting for you guys next week because you used to be Big 12 and Southwest Conference if you are saying go Big Red for Nebraska.
Big 10.
So,
go Big 10.
They better start doing something. I've been embarrassed by people even the Pac-12 beat the Big Ten this year.
I don't know what you're talking about. Big Ten.
Watch out for Wisconsin.
Big Ten.
Wisconsin.
Go Buckeyes. Go Buckeyes. Michigan Loserines suck.
I called that game yesterday. I knew that was going to happen. I did not go with my gut one game, but we'll see.
I loved it.
Russell, again, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. And as always, let's go, and tune in next week.
Thanks,
Got any
guys.
questions? Hit us up. Peace out, Girl Scout.